afternoon. Ms. Bishop said that our sense of place has a smell. And for me, my grandmother never spoke a word of French. From Normandy with my grandfather. They moved to Cape Breton in the late 20s to mine coal. And by the time I got there, I was the first grandson, so I got whatever I wanted, and she could make terrific fritters. And as Edward pointed out, over the course of my life, I've had done a lot of different things. But I've always loved to cook. And when I did break my arm on my way home from a particular job, I was working with a paraplegic gentleman. I had an opportunity to sit around and think, what am I going to do here? Previous couple of summers at the farmers market in Annapolis Royal, I had been making donuts, you know, and getting the local fruit, whatever was in season at the time, make the beignet, cut them open, put the fresh fruit in them, you know. I thought, this would be great. Why can't I continue to do this? And it turns out that the health department says, are you making the dough for these in a certified licensed commercial kitchen? I said, well, no, I'm not. I said, well, you need to do that because, you know, you got eggs, butter, cream, and sugar going on here, and you're making something that will make bacteria grow. I said, yeah, well, the yeast eats it first. You know, that's why you get a raised donut. But anyway, what I learned to bite my tongue at that point. So I did. I was going to the United Church at the time, and they have a wonderful kitchen in the basement. I went to them. I said, well, I'll pay you $10 a week. Let me do my thing in your basement, the kitchen. That's fine. At the end of the year, I discovered they didn't have a license. They had a beautiful kitchen, and that's when I really sat down with my broken arm and started to research shared use commercial kitchens as a source of community economic development. You know, being in the market all the time, you meet people. I know people who are organic beef farmers. They want to make beef sausages. You know, they don't want to just be commodity producers. They want to make a product. So they get to keep the money. The guys out at Off the Hook, they don't want to be fishermen. They don't want to just bring up a round fish and sell it to somebody else or take it to the fish plant and let them cut it. They were trying to find kitchens where they could cut the fillets themselves and keep that value themselves. So it occurred to me that I wasn't the only one interested in, I mean, this is just a Saturday job for me, but the people who moved to this area with organic farms, trying to look for extra value in the things that they produce. So I did a lot of research into this project, and I drew a circle around Annapolis Royal, and I said, are there any community halls, fire halls, or church halls, and now I can add legions, who would use their kitchen to be upgraded to commercial level, like a restaurant has a commercial licensed kitchen, and just rent it out by the hour to somebody who wanted to do that. Now, the concept was simple enough, and the fact is that most of those facilities are not that far away from being licensed commercially, but what you run into is what we've been hearing a lot about here is people who live by policy. You know, leaders create change, managers enforce policy. And everywhere I went was, great idea, we can't do it. Well, why can't? Well, we've never done it. Okay. Where else has it been done? Well, I can't point one. See? Nobody wants it because it's not out there. So, okay, minute and 20. So I spent a year doing this. I got 7 meetings with the Anglicans one time, with the parish council. It went against me 7-5 in the 7th meeting. Okay. The Legion, you know, various other church halls. So what happened was some friends of mine, you probably know them, Jennifer and Ralph Dobin. He's a butcher, and they've been making sausages and selling them at the Bridgetown Market. And they make a nice product, and I know I did that market with the Foxhill cheese, and they were lined up around the block for those sausages, just lined up. So when the Bridgetown Market moved indoors to the Legion, the great thing about that, which I didn't know at the time, was that the Legion is where the Dobins make their sausages to supply the demands of the Bridgetown Market, because the Bridgetown Legion had enough foresight to get a commercially licensed kitchen. So here I was trying to get Annapolis and suggesting this, that, and the other, and Bridgetown had beat me to it, which is a great thing, really, because thanks to Larry, that story is in the paper, and I'm hoping that the Legion and Annapolis Roar is going to cover it.